Hello, Algebra. Today we're going to talk about 10-3 data distributions. You will need to for sure have a calculator today. Working with means can get kind of long if you do not have a calculator, so feel free to grab that. All right, what is the measure of central tendency? Let's get that vocab down first. It's the center of a set of data. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways. Okay, so we're going to talk about finding the center of the data that you're given. And there's different ways you can do that. As we can see in example 1, there's a mean you can get, there's a median, there's a mode. Okay, those are all ways of getting the central tendency. So let's review those. There's also another way we're going to be talking about at the end. The weight in pounds of 6 members of a basketball team are 161, 156, and so on. Find the mean. Okay, when you need to find the mean, you are finding the average. Mean and average kind of go hand in hand pretty much. And when you do that, you are adding all of your values up. So I'm going to real small try to write that. If it repeats twice, you write it twice. And now after you add it up and push equal, make sure you push equal, you're going to divide by how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you can try that in your calculator. I suggest you try that because sometimes if you don't push equal at the end here, after you add them up, you're going to get the wrong answer. You should get 156. So please pause it and make sure you do. All right, now the median. In order to do the median, you have to rewrite the data in order from smallest to largest. So let's go up here and do that. We look through and we look for the smallest. It looks like it's 150, 150. There's 2 of them. You write them both. And what's next? 156 and 156. You write them both. And 161 and 163. And you make sure you didn't miss any. You make sure they're in increasing order. The median is whatever one is physically in the middle. Now, if I have an odd number, there will be one answer. If I have an even number, you're going to have to average the middle two. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 of them. So when I work my way in here and work to the middle is right here. Okay, there's no number right in the middle. So what we have to do is average the 2 middle ones. In this case, they're the same. So it works really slick because the middle of 156 and 156 is 156. But remember, it's averaging them. It's finding the middle of these 2 numbers. You can add them up and divide by 2. But it also, a lot of times you can just tell. Like the middle of 14 and 16 would be 15. Okay? Now, if I had, we'll get to it. I'll just leave that. The mode is the one that occurs in the data set the highest number of times. So when we look in here, see how the 150 is there twice? 156 is there twice. That's there once, that's there once. So there's actually 2 modes here. It's 150 and 156 because they both appear twice. If they all were only there one time, there would be no mode. Okay? And the range is just, what is the range of this? What's my highest? It's 163. And what's my lowest? It's 150. When you subtract them, you get the range. So that's it laid out. I know you've had that before, so I'm hoping that a slight review helped you there. But let's jump into outliers. So identify the outlier in the data set. Well, first, let's put it in order. I'm gonna sneak this in. Let's see, where should I put that? I'll put it right here. Smallest to largest. 16, 18, 21, 21, 23, and 75. Now, when you look at that data set, one of those numbers does not fit in there. Can you see which one it is? You got it, the 75. So we're just going to work through this problem here so you can see what a difference an outlier like that can make, because in some data sets, you just want to disregard the outlier because it affects the data so much. So let's real quickly do that. If we get the mean of these, remember, I'm just going to kind of move through this a little faster, but we add them all up and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because this is with the outlier. Okay, so we're going to leave the 75 in for this round. So when I add them up and divide by 6, I should get 174 divided by 6, I get 29. The median here, let's go to the middle. So boom, boom, 21 and 21 are my middle numbers. My median is 21. Mode, which one occurs the most? 21 is there twice. The rest are only there once. And the range, 75 minus 16 is 59. But now watch what happens if we do without it. If we take that 75 out and do it. The mean would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All those added up and divided by 5. And you get a totally different answer, 19.8. The median is the middle, so let's go to the middle. Gone, gone. 21 is our median, that is the same. And the mode is the same. The range is not going to be the same. 23 minus 16, 7. So what really got affected there with these outliers? The mean, big time, and the range. Okay? So keep that in mind as you're working through some of these. Now, Rico scored these numbers on his 6 history tests. For each question, choose the mean, median, or mode and give its value. So, okay, let's do it. So let's write them in increasing order. I'm going to put that up here. 54, 67, 73, 74, 75, and 80. In increasing order. And now, to get the mean, we're going to add those numbers up and divide by 6, which gives us a mean of 70.5. All right, let's do the median. Median is the middle one. How many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's going to be 2 in the middle. So gone, gone. I got 73 and 74. We need to add those up, divide by 2, or you can probably tell me what it's going to be because it's right in the middle of those two. So it's going to be 73.5. Mode, which one of these occurs the most? None, they all occur once. So there is no mode. And then the question is, which measure best describes his typical score? Well, when you look at these values, which one of these do you think is the best predictor of his score? Let's see, 73.5 and 70. So 70.5 is like in here. 73.5 is in here. I would go with the median on this one because it's closest to all the values. So I think we should pick the median, 73.5. It's closer to more of the values. This one lies kind of farther down. All right, which measure should Rico use to describe his test scores to his parents? Well, you want it to come off good, right, kiddos? So you're going to definitely want to tell them the median score. My median score was 73.5. Okay, because it's higher than the mean score. And most of us would like to represent ourselves well, correct? All right. Now, we are going to talk about box and whisker plots. And these do appear on standardized testing as you get older, the ACT and SAT and things like that. So you want to make sure you do understand these box and whisker plots. It's just yet another way to show data distribution. Okay, there's 5 values you need to do a plot. You need the minimum value, which is easy enough to get, right? You just, hello, can I spell? There we go. And you need the maximum. So those two are pretty easy, right? You just write them from lowest order. You write them all out, smallest to biggest, and you got the smallest number, you got the biggest number. You need the median, which we just talked about how to get, which is the physical middle. Okay, so we got these 3 points. Then you're going to get what's called the first quartile and the third quartile. And what that means is you're really finding the median between these and the median between these. Okay? And whatever those, it doesn't mean it's right in the middle. It's because it depends on the values. But it's somewhere in between this and somewhere in between this. Now, there is a great video that I found that really explains this really clearly. So I want you to pause this video and go back to the email. And I have a box and whisker plot video there. I would like you to watch that. It explains how to do it. And once you're complete watching it, we're going to come back here and finish up and have you do one of these. So you're going to watch the video, then you're going to do this. And then you're going to come back here and see if you did it correctly. Okay? Meanwhile, I'm going to pause my video, and I'm going to write these in smallest to largest order and see where we go. He starts off in the video making a small mistake. We'll see if you guys catch it. So I'll see you in just a minute. You go ahead and watch that video. Welcome back. I hope that was clear as I thought it was. I know it was helpful in my other class when I taught it as well. So what I've got here is I put them in increasing order. If you miss something, then that will unfortunately possibly screw up the answers here. But what we have to do is get our minimum, ding, our maximum, ding, our median. So what I sometimes do when there's a ton of them is I'll just kind of, count up like 5 of them and cross them off like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, until I get closer to the middle. And there is an odd number. So we are going to have a median. That's an actual number in this case. Okay. Now we need to find the median of the ones in between these two values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 values. So we need to work our way in. Cross off, cross off, cross off. We got 6 and 6. The average of 6 and 6 is 6. Let's try it over here. Cross off. Notice I'm not using these. Cross off, cross off, cross off. And I got 11 and 12. And the middle part of 11 and 12 is 11 and a half. 11 plus 12 divided by 2 is 11 and a half. Those are our values, okay? So let's go ahead and mark these on here. I'm going to take a look here, and 3 is my one value. That's going to be a dot. And 20 is my value over here, and that is going to be a dot. Those two are dots. Those are the whiskers. But let's get the box. So these are my whiskers, and then these become my box right here. Okay? So I got to put them on the graph, though. So we got a 10, so I'm going to put a vertical line here. And we have a 6, so I'll put a vertical line right there. And 11 and a half. So 11, 10, 11, 11 and a half, about right there. So you see it's not perfect, like it's not just perfectly spaced here. Then you draw the whiskers out to those points. And voila. And this shows you that the middle half of the data all falls in this range. The outer parts of the data are there. So it just kind of gives you everything kind of in a nutshell. You can see the low, you can see the high, you can see the median, you can see where the middle half is falling. Kind of shows you a lot in one picture. All right, I hope you guys have a great day. God bless.